Have you lost all faith in your government? Do you think they're out to get you? You think they're watching everything you do on the internet when you go out in public? You can't just you can't trust anything these days. They're trying to take your guns, take your jobs, and take your liberty. And if you're sick and tired of it, this is the video for you, because today we're getting all that tinfoil we stockpiled during the toilet paper crisis, and we're gonna whop our anuses together with it. And that's exactly why I'm looking at this conspiracy theory and movement today. I'm trying to figure out, are birds really watching everything you do? Are they watching you when you're being the little spoon to your anime waifu body pillow, and also when you're taking a big old steamy dump after enchilada night? I'm trying to figure out the cold hard facts here. And ever since I first heard about this conspiracy theory, I've been going outside every day, every chance I get with my airsoft gun, taking pop shots at birds. You know, I'm like Chris Kyle out here. Call me the American sniper, baby, because whenever I see a bird in my sights, it's going down. It's like a bird massacre every time I go out there. And sometimes when I get lucky, if I shoot them and I can catch them, bite their head off and take it home like a trophy, and then I mount it on my wall. Today, I'm going to be infiltrating the ranks and becoming a true bird non-believer, joining the Birds Aren't Real movement to truly be awoken to the real world and realize what's really going on. And to complete my super secret undercover mission, I joined some Facebook groups and looked at their websites and the rallies they've held. Yes, they've held rallies. This is a widespread movement, apparently. It's actually insane. Before we hop into my undercover private detective work, I just wanted to give you a bit of backstory, a bit of lore to the Birds Aren't Real movement. In my journeys of trying to find the lore, the cold hard facts, the things that are set in stone like the 10 Commandments about the origin story of Birds Aren't Real, all I could find is that its leader is Peter McClendon. I think that's how you say his name. It's spelled really weird. It's like Peter McClendon, but I'm going to say McClendon because I don't want to sound like an idiot. But all I can find basically is that he's the leader. I don't know who created it. They say they've been around since the 70s, the 50s, whatever. Obviously, they haven't been around since then. It's adding to the lore. It's a fake lore. That's fake lore. The real lore is I know more about what my own butthole looks like than what I do about the Birds Aren't Real conspiracy theory. And I've never seen my butthole before. It's basically impossible. Unless I'm going to take a picture of it, I have never seen it with my own two eyeballs. So I'm going to make up my own origin story, my own conspiracy theory of a conspiracy theory, like a Joker origin story. You'll never know if it's real or not. You'll never know if it's true or fake. The story begins when Peter's in his college dorm room, sitting there jerking off to hentai, you know, imagining the smell of the girl's hair in his psychology class to get him off. And then a wild thought pops into his head, one of those random porn thoughts that has nothing to do with the porn that you're looking at. Why don't I make a fake conspiracy theory called Birds Aren't Real? Because there's a meme like, you know, have you ever seen a baby pigeon? No, you haven't. So let's make this conspiracy. This inspired him so much he blue-balled himself. He stopped right there, cleaned all the lotion up, the lube up, got it out of the floor and everything, closed all of his tabs, went out of incognito mode. This man was ready to start a fake conspiracy theory. Whenever your drive to create something overwhelms your drive to jerk off to hentai, that's when you know it's a good idea. So he stands up and pulls his pants up before someone can walk in and see his bare cheeks flapping in the wind. And he's ready to start this. So he gets to work. He gets to work thinking, you know, what can I name it? Birds Aren't Real. That's a good name. Let's go ahead and make this logo. Birds Aren't Real logo. And then he starts spreading the word. He starts making posts, making boards, making pictures. Birds Aren't Real. Makes a website. Makes a fake history. It's all believable. It's all coming to fruition. Now, what's the next step? Where can you get all the toothless hillbillies who believe in flat earth and then all the fat, overweight, middle-aged women that think anti-vax is good? What is that one place you can gather these incoherently stupid people? Facebook groups. So he makes a Facebook group called Birds Aren't Real and starts promoting it like a conspiracy group. So obviously, the weirdos are going to flock in like flies. So the weirdos start migrating into this group. There's some people saying, oh, this is stupid. How could you ever believe in this? And there's some people saying, oh, you could really believe in this. This is true. But I've never actually seen the inside of a bird. It's probably mechanical. It's definitely spied on me. How did I not realize this before? And that's how this whole thing was born. That's how this whole conspiracy was pushed through the vagina and came out to be a beautiful baby conspiracy boy. But unfortunately and sadly, this was just started as a satirical movement. It's not a seriously started conspiracy theory, although there are probably some people in it that believe it's genuinely true, like the flat earth, for example. I'd say there's more believers in flat earth, but the tinfoil hats get passed back and forth. You know, they share common theories. I'm sure the ones that think the earth is flat probably think pigeons aren't real as well. But naturally, the majority in each group are probably just there to be friends with people, and it's a cool thing to, gather up in a group and go around and tour the country now. This dude's touring the country in his little minivan. It was actually hard to tell if this was a joke or not at first. I had to look into it for a couple minutes. That's a lot of research. I mean, just look at the van that he's touring in. I mean, obviously, this isn't a serious thing. At least the leader of the thing, the Peter dude, is not taking this serious. He's having fun with it, which is good. It's cool. It's funny. It's even more obvious that this is satire, though, whenever you look at the history. He wrote out such a long history thing about how they committed a mass genocide on the birds, and then they replaced them with materials and stuff that's only found in Vietnam or something. Every major historical event, basically, they're linking it to the birds and all that. It's just wild. Look how long this is. He wrote out the full history for this thing, and then he even ends it off with something about Donald Trump. It's wild. And he also came out with a Poultrygate on the website, and they also sell merch. So, I mean, the dude's doing good. He's doing good with what it is. He started it as a joke, and it's took off. It's a massive movement now. It's blowing up bigger than ever. It's funny seeing the reviews on the Facebook account of this, too, saying, like, this is obviously fake, this is stupid, this is dumb, how is this even real? People that are, the joke's going over their head a bit. I can understand it. It's a hard joke to catch. It's a hard joke to not let it fly over your head. I thought at first it might have been real when I first just heard the phrase birds aren't real. But the more I looked into it, it's obviously just meant to be like a satirical conspiracy theory. See, like this person says, this is the most stupidest thing I've ever seen. Birds are real. This has to be the most stupid movement in the history of the internet. This is the stupidest, most insane movement I've ever seen. The patchy beard guy, the leader, I guess, needs to grow up and accept that he is a fool. The simple truth is, and I hate that I have to say this, birds are real. Wake up, you fools. Signed, a guy that hunts and eats birds. They are not machines. I promise. So obviously there's some people that are thinking this is real. Some people probably do think it's real. And obviously there's going to be some people that think it's not real. Most of the people probably think it's not real. But there are going to be a small majority that actually believe in it and try to live by the code or whatever. But, and then there's obviously going to be people on the other side just as crazy saying stuff like that. It's whenever there's any kind of conspiracy, though, you have to expect that. That's the funny part of it. That's what really gets the conspiracy moving and gets it pushed out to more people. It also gave birth to one of the most funny news interviews I've ever seen. They interviewed this guy after he put up billboards saying birds aren't real. The Peter guy, I guess he's the leader of the movement, the founder, whatever. He's the one that's touring around right now, the entire country, spreading the birds aren't real message. And there's a massive crowd at each one of the places he stops at. But this thing right here in the interview, if you watch it, you can tell he's being satirical. He keeps a straight face pretty good, but you can tell it's a joke, obviously.
The government mercilessly genocided over 12 billion birds and simultaneously replaced them with surveillance drones in disguise.
So this is really satire. I mean, you don't really believe that happened, correct? This is a satirical campaign to make the point that what? You're looking at me like, no, it's not satire. I really do believe this.
Honestly, it's kind of offensive.
Okay.
We do not find this to be a humorous issue.
And then in the Twitter replies of him posting the interview that he did on the Channel 3 News in his local Arizona thing, I think it was, maybe Arizona, Missouri, something like that. They said, do Americans treat their mentally challenged as experts? Why was he even on the show? To embarrass him? He obviously needs help. So there you go. That's pretty funny. It's pretty hilarious. But yeah, sadly, the birds aren't real movement wasn't started by a crazy man or a wacky guy running down the street just spouting out nonsense like a homeless man on crack saying stuff about the sky's falling. There's cocaine falling from the sky. Oh, whoa. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but we do get some funny stuff out of it. And this exploding, it might honestly be as big as the flat earth thing when Logan Paul got into all that and stuff. I could see this going places, hilarious places at that, because it's just getting bigger and bigger. The man's doing tours. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's great. I'm just waiting for the all gas, no brakes dude to start doing interviews at these rallies. He might have done one already in the past. I don't know. But that's where the true comedy is going to come out. When he finds the people that truly believe in the birds aren't real conspiracy and interviews them at the rallies and stuff, that's when the gold content will shine. So yeah, that's all I wanted to cover today, the birds aren't real movement stuff. It's kind of funny. I just wanted to, go over it in a broad stroke. There's much more to look into. Go to his, all of his website, Instagram, Twitter, everything, YouTube. all that. It's hilarious stuff all around the board. Just check it out. Birds aren't real is what it goes by on everything. They have the same logo. Birds aren't real. So yeah, that's all for me. Remember, the birds are always watching, so keep that airsoft gun on you at all times. So if you need to take a drone out when it's not looking, when it's lacking, when it's looking the other way, you can do that. And I'll see you next time. Peace out. This is probably at the end of the video, so John, eh?